Hi, it's Marie-Helene with Wisdom and Power Now with a collective oracle and tarot card reading from Sunday, December the 14th, right through to Saturday, December the 20th. Now, we do have a couple of things happening astrologically this week. We do have a new moon in Sagittarius on Friday, December the 19th. And actually, the second thing is happening really next week, but I'm going to mention it anyway. It is the solstice on December the 21st, so the shortest day of the year. And so here in the Northern Hemisphere, in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, it's a different story, but solstice is truly the onset of winter, even though for many of us we've been feeling the impact of winter for some time now. So keep that in mind. A new moon in Sagittarius on the 19th, and then solstice on Sunday, December the 21st. Now, I will have more to say about solstice next Sunday. And by the way, next Sunday, the 21st, will be my final reading for 2025, and I will be away for most of January for 2026. I'm going to take a bit of a break. So I won't be around to do any readings, unless really Spirit guides me to do so while I'm traveling. However, we'll see. At this point in time, I'm saying I'll be back the last week in January. I think the Sunday, the 25th, will be the first time I'm back. All right, so in terms of the reading, I'm using the Neoteric Feminine Tarot guidebook, or Neoteric Feminine Tarot, pardon me, not the guidebook. And in terms of the oracle card, I'm using the Starseed Oracle. So there were 6 cards that came out as per usual, and the first one that showed up is the 4 of Cups. Now we've got a woman sitting in, looking at 4 cups with a kitty cat going, hey, what are you going to do? So the 4s are usually a card of stability, foundation, sometimes hanging on a little too tightly. In this case, the 4 of Cups kind of indicates, things aren't looking the way I thought they'd look. I'm not sure if I need to take another cup. I'm not sure what I need to do here. I'm feeling a little blah. So it really is a period of contemplation for you. Think about what you want, to get clarity about what you're wanting to have in your life and move from there. So the 4 of Cups, starting the week off with some contemplation. From there, we move to the Fool, which is 0 in the tarot deck. And the Fool is all about possibilities. Starting off on a journey, starting off on a new way of doing things, starting off without a whole lot of encumbrance. So you want to pay attention to ensuring that you're using the Fool's energy to your advantage. So pay attention to what may want to come into your life that's new this week. There is a new moon. It would be a good plan to actually look at what are you ready to really let go of, and what are you willing to embrace that's quite out of the box for you. It's a good card for that kind of potential. The next card, card number 3, again, Major Arcana, the Tower. Now, the Tower indicates that structures around you are crumbling. Now, that could be structures in your personal life, in your work life, could be structures in your career that are crumbling. It could be structures around your relationships, whether they be friendship or family-based. So things are falling apart. Now, that's really actually a kind of a good thing. So I don't view the Tower as a terrible card. I view it as a card of huge potential. So again, the Tower, Major Arcana 16, it indicates that things around you are starting to crack at the seams. Things are not what they used to be. Things are starting to crumble, fall apart. And or it may just be that you've had a sudden awakening about something. So the Tower is good energy in relation to kind of house cleaning, if you will. Either things are falling apart or you're going to cause them to fall apart because you've just had a huge aha about where you'd like to go. The 4th card that showed up is another major, the Chariot. Now the Chariot, it shows a woman in a car with 2 stylized kind of sphinxes in different colors in front of the vehicle. So which way do you go? You go straight, you go left, you go right, you go up, you go down. But really what the Chariot is saying is whatever direction you're going to go in, you are going to receive some guidance and you are good to go in whichever direction you go in. In other words, there's not a bad decision to be made here. Just do it. Go with it. Start moving. Start the momentum. Number 7 in the major arcana, the Chariot. So just go for it. Make a decision. Go left, right, up, down, whichever way you go. It's not a wrong choice or a decision. It's simply movement at this time, and the Chariot supports that. The 5th card that showed up is the High Priestess, number 2, in terms of the major arcana. Now, the High Priestess is really about trusting your inner self. It's about tuning into the wisdom that you have, tuning into your more spiritual side of your nature, if you will, if you want to talk about that from that point of view, more psychological side of your nature, if you're more comfortable with that terminology. Whichever terminology works for you, the High Priestess indicates that you've got the wisdom within you and you need to tap into it. You also need to be able to do what works for you. So not so much focused on, well, I got to do the right thing for everybody else, but what's the right thing for me and what's that going to create for those around me, because I do want everyone to benefit. So again, the High Priestess, number 2 in major arcana. The last card that showed up was number 6, the Lovers. And again, this is another major arcana, and I have my fingers over their bodies here because if I don't do that, then the reading won't show up. So the Lovers is about a choice in life, in a relationship, in a career, around friends, around family, around where you spend your time and your energy. You've got some choices to make. So do pay attention to what serves you, what's going to give you the most pleasure, and make those choices for yourself. So number 6, the Lovers. So in this reading, we've had 5 major arcanas, which lets me know that there's larger than life influences happening for us all. We want to be paying attention to that. We also want to be ensuring that we're looking after ourselves. It is a time period for, despite the busyness of the season and the full ahead full that the holiday season tends to bring around, Christmas, New Year's, etc., it is a time period to just slow down a lot if you can. Take it one day at a time. Take it one decision at a time. You don't have to bite off more than you can chew at this point. So with 5 major arcana showing up, it is basically saying there are going to be some activities and some events that show up that are going to be different than what you think, and they're going to show up with a lot more volume, shall we say, or a lot more color than you may be used to. So just be prepared for that. Now, in terms of the Oracle card, the card says, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. I remember, the soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. The fated life is going along with what fate gives you and saying, well, I can make this work. The destined life is saying, I'm paying attention to what works for me, for my growth as a person, for my growth in this area, for the contributions that I can make, okay? So I would encourage all of you to start to live life from the destined plan. Okay, that's it for this week. If you like this reading, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the 21st of December, and again, that will be the last reading for me for 2025. Hope you have a good week. Thanks. Bye for now.